Joseph was 17 years old, he was feeding the flock with his brothers, and he brought a bad report about them to his father. Israel loved Joseph more than all his other children because Joseph was the son of his old age. Israel made a long-sleeved robe of many colors for him. When his brothers saw that their father loved him more than all his brothers, they began to hate Joseph and could not even speak to him in a peaceful manner. Joseph had a dream, and when he told his brothers about his dream, they hated him even more.
Listen to me as I tell you this dream of mine. We were tying up bundles of wheat in the field when suddenly my bundle arose by itself and stood upright. Then your bundles came and gathered around mine and bowed down before it.
And his brothers said,
"Shall you rule over us?"
"Yes, you will certainly be our king."
And they hated him more and more for his dream and for what he had said. Joseph had another dream, and again he told it to his brothers.
I have dreamed another dream. The sun and the moon and 11 stars bowed down before me.
But when Joseph also told the dream to his father, Israel rebuked him, saying,
"What is this dream that you have had? Do you really expect me, your mother, and your brothers to come and bow on the ground before you?"
His brothers were jealous of Joseph, but his father kept the matter in mind. After these events, Joseph's brothers traveled to feed their father's flock near Shechem, and Israel called for Joseph.
"Are not your brothers pasturing the sheep near Shechem? Come, I will send you to them.
Here I am."
Go now and see if things are going well with your brothers and with the sheep, and bring word back to me."
So Israel sent Joseph out from Hebron. And when he arrived in Shechem, a man found him wandering around the countryside.
"What are you looking for?"
I'm looking for my brothers. Please tell me where they are pasturing their flocks.
"They have gone away, for I heard them say, 'Let us go to Dothan.'"
So Joseph continued to Dothan. When Joseph's brothers spotted him in the distance, even before he had arrived, they conspired to kill him.
"Look, here comes the dreamer."
Let's kill him and throw him into one of these pits and say a wild animal devoured him. Then we shall see what becomes of his dreams.
However, when Joseph's oldest brother Reuben heard this, he rescued Joseph from his brother's hands.
"We should not kill him. Do not shed his blood. Throw him into the pit, but do not lay a hand on him."
Reuben spoke these words so that he might later rescue Joseph from the pit and return him to his father. And it came to pass, when Joseph reached his brothers, they stripped him of his robe of many colors and cast him into an empty pit. They sat down to eat, and when they looked up, they saw a caravan of Ishmaelite merchants coming up from Gilead on their way to Egypt. Their camels were loaded with myrrh, balm, and spices. Seeing this, Judah said to his brothers,
"What profit is it to us if we kill our brother and cover up his blood? Let us sell him to the Ishmaelites instead of putting him to death by our own hands. After all, he is our brother, our own flesh."
Judah's brothers listened to him, and when the merchants passed by, they lifted Joseph out of the pit and sold him to the merchants for 20 pieces of silver. After buying Joseph, the Ishmaelites took him to Egypt. Later, when Reuben returned to the pit where Joseph had been placed and saw that it was empty, he tore his clothes in agony and returned to his brothers.
"The boy is gone. Where can I go now?"
So they took Joseph's robe of many colors, killed a young goat, and dipped the robe in its blood. Then they brought the robe to their father, saying,
We found this robe. Do you know if it is your son's robe or not?
Jacob immediately recognized the robe of many colors and cried out,
It is my son's robe. A wild beast attacked him. Joseph has, without a doubt, been torn to pieces.
Jacob tore his clothes, put sackcloth around his waist, and mourned for his son for many days. Though all his sons and daughters tried to comfort him, he refused to be comforted.
No, I shall go to my grave mourning my son.
Meanwhile, in Egypt, the merchants sold Joseph to Potiphar, an officer of Pharaoh and a captain of the guard.
Then Judah said to his brothers, What profit is it if we kill our brother and conceal his blood? Come, let us sell him to the Ishmaelites, and let not our hand be upon him, for he is our brother, our own flesh. And his brothers listened to him. Then Midianite traders passed by, and they drew Joseph up and lifted him out of the pit, and sold him to the Ishmaelites for 20 shekels of silver. They took Joseph to Egypt. Genesis chapter 37, verses 26 to 28.